Hello, welcome back to the vlog. I'm Dr. Michael J. Krubs, and it's time to drink the wine we aged. It's not wine. God damn, why did I say wine?
That's great.
The wine we aged?
That's great, yeah.
Mike's Vlog.
Nah, just kidding. I meant the bourbon we aged. Now we've used Evan Williams as our test, control, and then our aging one. We got one of each. Let's find out what, it said you only need 24 hours, but we did about 48 hours. Let's find out what each one tastes like, if there's a difference. And we'll drink it all night until we find out. This is the not, oh wait, let's make sure. Yeah, it's hard to see inside this label. Here we go. Tastes like heaven. Without a wooden staff, it tastes like heaven. Evan Williams is delicious. Evan Williams could be a country singer nowadays. You know how every country singer is just two first names? They're like, hi, I'm Trent Michaels. This is my name. But Trent Michaels could be a guy. Here's a different country name. Dylan Michael. And then that's how I'm using Michaels. It could be anyone. It could be any two first names. I honestly don't know. Let's go back to the drawing board. This one does smell a little bit beefier, you know? Yeah. It does taste more barrely, it tastes sharper. I don't know if I'm more aged because you're just putting a piece of wood in there. Oh yeah, there's a difference. We're getting after it here. There is a difference. For sure, this one tastes more, I don't know the words, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say aged or whatever, but it tastes beefier. This one's more like sipping on Old Granddad or Wild Turkey. Whereas this one's a little smoother, a little lighter, not as harsh, but not in a bad way. Not that this is harsh in a bad way. I definitely think it tastes fucking good. Yeah, that is good. All right. Yeah. The aging thing is worth it. It tastes good. It can make Evan Williams taste like your old granddad. On to the next segment where we drink more in the vlog. All right, now I want to teach you how to make my favorite cocktail, the Manhattan. Now, when I was 21, my dad took me out to a bar and said, you need to learn what your signature cocktail is. Like, what are you going to drink? You've drank before you were 21, obviously, but what is your signature? When you go out for a good meal or whatever, you need your drink. What's going to be your cocktail? And although I've had, tried just about everything, and now that I bartend, sure, of course I've had it all. But this is still my favorite cocktail, the Manhattan. So between 2 days we went out and it was like, oh, let's try a Rob Roy. Let's try, a martini. We're gonna do a gimlet. We're gonna go through everything, a Tom Collins, every of the old-timey cocktails except for a bunch of the egg white ones we tried. And this is still my favorite drink. Everyone's gotta have yours. You gotta have yours, whatever it may be. But when you do, figure out and ask for it made specifically to your taste. That's important. And as someone that makes drinks, it's not something annoying if someone asks you, to make a cocktail a certain way, except for if you say make it strong. That's not a cocktail. If you want a Jack and Coke and you want it strong, get the fuck out of there. You have no idea what you're doing and how to order anything. So now we're gonna go through and figure out my favorite way to make the Manhattan. Now, I've had a bunch of Manhattans all over. This is simply the best way that I like it. You might like it a different way. A lot of people like it neat too. The original way I think it was made was chilled and poured over in a martini glass. And that's fine if you're Winston Churchill's mom, but I like mine with ice. That's how I like it. It's a strong drink. I don't mind the ice. I don't mind getting the bite at first, right? And then it soothes, it starts to chill a little bit down when you get the ice in there. So, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take ice, and this is honestly the good ice. I don't normally have this ice, but you know what? It's a fancy day, so we're doing good ice. Now, we're using the one that we just did with the staff in there. So this is gonna be better. It's a better Evan Williams. Always too, if you have a spout on there, it's gotta be facing the right, facing you. That's how you pour a drink. That's how you see it in the well. That's how you go. So we're gonna put about 2.5 ounces of bourbon in there. And up next is sweet vermouth. Everyone thinks that you put an ounce or an ounce and a half of sweet vermouth. Those people are sick and like to get belly aches. Those are people that read books about drinking and don't really drink. All you need is a splash of sweet vermouth, and it doesn't matter which kind. They're all very good, you know? There's not such thing as like a cheap dollar store sweet vermouth. They're all relatively well priced, so that's it. That's all you need. You need a splash. You got to taste it, but you don't want to taste it. You know what I mean? That's exactly how much of it. Next up is the cherries. Now, I've had maraschino cherries my whole life. You know, we all love kitty cocktails and stuff. But when you're ready to step up your game, you buy the Luxardo. Now, Luxardo is a brand that invented the maraschino cherry. It's a weird story. It's an Italian brand, but back when Italy also had like Croatia as part of it, so that's, annoying and stupid. And these things are not only obviously different in color, but different in taste, different in texture, and you really know why you're getting it. This looks like Dimetapp. Like, this looks thick. But it's completely worth it. We're not gonna go over the price of this, but you know it's way too much. Now, I tend to shake these heavily, and I don't want to do that here because that's something that is very bartenderish. Now, if I'm at the bar, I'm shaking the shit out of your drink, especially if it's like a creamy drink. But for my Manhattan, I don't need it to be shook up. In fact, it could just be poured inside of a cocktail glass and not shaken at all. But I'm using ice here, and I want to show that you want to get all the bourbon to cover as much as the ice as possible, because you want that melt off at first when you're getting it. We didn't need both pieces of ice, just the one. And that's gonna taste absolutely perfect. I know it, I haven't even tried it yet, but. That's incredible. Mixing it over the ice like that, if you're someone that wants it neat and you don't want that, then shake it heavily over ice and then pour it out. But if you like just that heavier bourbon flavor and you want that bitter bite, well then just put it right in there with the ice though, but put it right in there into the glass and don't mix it at all, because that's how you're gonna get the bite. But I wanted something a little smoother. Obviously I was just chugging all this stuff. This is gonna be your absolute perfect Manhattan. If you wanna get fancy, you can change different things. You can add expensive bourbon. If you want it a little sweeter, you can add a little bit of the cherry juice. There's a million ways to do it, but you gotta figure out what your way is that you like, and the only way to do that is experiment. Make it yourself. Pour yourself a drink, figure out how you like it, and then drink it. Cheers.